Hi guys, we're back again for I think our fifth video now, and today, now that we made buttons, we built our home page, we saw the different possibilities with Canvas, we learned how to link things. Today we're going to be building a course page. So the student work that they're going to do, either on that page, if you're just linking pages like I am for kindergarten, or if you're making those pages into a whole module for your class. Either way, you do have to build some pages that are going to show the kids what they're going to do, have directions, have links for them, or videos or of you teaching, or online videos, whatever it's going to be. So we're going to start with showing the difference between an external video, like a YouTube video, a read aloud, for example. There are different ways that you can import it. You can make a video right here on Canvas of you reading an actual book, and that's all done on Canvas. You can import videos from YouTube in two different ways. You can either add a link to that video, which in Canvas, it automatically will embed that video, and I'll show you what that means, or you can just fully embed it. And I'll show you the difference between the two. I'm going to go to a page that I made just to show you this. And I have to go to Pages, and then it defaults to my home page. I'm going to click View All Pages. And I have two different, this isn't my Storytime page. I decided to do a Bitmoji page for my actual Storytime page, but I made this one a little bit different just so that you can see the difference between linking and embedding. Okay, so if I were going to set up my Storytime read aloud page like this, I like to put a little book next to it to show what book it is, and then the video of me reading that book. Okay. Now, if you notice, these two videos look very different. The top video is a video from YouTube of me reading, and I embedded it into here. It's bigger, and it does not have a link to YouTube up above it. This one, if I play on it, or click play on it.
Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to read the story.
There I am reading. Okay. Now, even when you do embed a YouTube video, if the kids decide to come down here and click this button, it's going to default back to YouTube. I looked for ways in the embed code that you could take that bar out. You can take the controls out by changing the embed code, and I can explain how to do that in a little bit more in depth at another time. But you can take the play and the volume controls and the copy link, but that is one thing that you cannot take away even though it's embedded. You can have it stop playing suggested videos afterwards so that it doesn't go on to something else. But that is always going to be there, that if they click on it, it is going to bring them out to YouTube in a different tab. But when you embed the video, it makes it a little bigger, and it also doesn't have this link above here. This video, I just took a URL and I linked it that way. You see that the video is smaller. When I click on it, it's going to get bigger, okay? But not as big as when you embed it, okay? And there's still that option to go out to YouTube here. But there's also an option up here to go out to YouTube as well, okay? And they can minimize it and make it bigger. So that's the difference between the way it looks on Canvas when you embed a video and when you just link a video, okay? And I'm going to show you one more option, and I'm going to show you how to embed and how to link in just a moment when we make our sight word page together. But let me show you on here a third option if you don't want it to go out to YouTube at all and you want to do a read aloud, but you don't want to post them on YouTube, and see how it looks on my end on the edit end. Here's my embedded video. Here's my linked video. And it says this link will be replaced by an embedded YouTube video, but the link stays there also. Okay, so for my third option, if I wanted to do a video of me reading it right here, I'm going to click in the cell next to, on my table, next to the book that I'm going to be reading. I'm going to go up here with these three little dots. I'm going to go to this one where it says record and upload media. I'm going to click on it and click upload record media. And I have the option of dragging and dropping a video that I already have downloaded on my computer. I have the option of embedding a video. And I also have the option of recording a video. I'm going to come down here. It's all black because it doesn't have the right webcam chosen. Okay, so once I do this, there it goes, pops up. Now, this is just like we did for our message and our homepage. If you watch that video, the mic is working because I see that blue line going back and forth. That's telling that it's recording my voice. And I can start recording, and I can record a video of me reading a book. It'll give a countdown. And then I can say, hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to read the story, The Kissing Hand. And I don't have the actual book in front of me, so this one happens to be on my table. So I can go through, I can read the story to my kids. Once I'm done, click finish. I can go back and preview the video by playing on it. If I don't like it or there's something wrong with the video, I can start over. If I like it, I can click save. And it's going to put that yellow bar there, which means that it's uploading. And there it is, that video right on Canvas. Now that means that if you're going to do that rather than YouTube, you're going to have to read all the stories and record them on Canvas before putting them on. So embedded video, linked video, and recorded video. 3 different options that you can do. And there's nothing fancy about this page. It's just the book and this. I can dress it up and put a background on it. I can do it however I want. I just wanted to show you in a quick way how embedded videos look, how linked videos look, and how a recorded video will look. And I think this stays this size. I can say, hi, boys and girls. You can go full screen with it story, by doing this, but then you're going to have to teach your kiddos how to either press the escape button or do this to make it smaller again when they're finished. All right, so that's the difference between embedded, linked, and recorded. Now I'm going to go back. We're going to head out of here, back to pages, and view all pages. And I'm going to show you how to make our own page. And we're going to make a sight word page. So I'm going to write sample. We'll just put it sample page. All right. And remember, make this description as specific as possible. Don't just say math lesson, because you're going to probably have more than one math lesson. Put the date on it, put the week on it, put what unit it is, whatever it is that's going to make it stand out from the other ones, because this is what you're going to be looking at when you go to link it to your home page or into a module. Okay, so I'm going to start out. I always start out with a table. So I clicked on those 3 little dots, go down to table. Now I can select whatever kind of table that I want. And I think today I'm going to do a 2 by 5 table. And you can always change that later if you don't like it. Okay, so the top one, and it gets a little funny because sometimes this little bar gets in the way. You got to click to get it out of there. Okay, now I'm going to select those top 2 cells because this is where I want to put my banner. I don't want it just on one side of the screen or the other side. So I want to go to table. I want to go to cell and merge cells. And I apologize about this little thing there. I don't know how to get that out of there so that you don't have to look at it. But okay, so this is where I want to put my banner. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to image, upload image, because I already have that image ready. I'm going to minimize this down a bit. And I have a sight word banner. You don't have to put a banner up there. It's a matter of choice. If you don't want to put a banner, but you want a heading up there, you can actually just click in that box and type text in it. And up here, you can change the size of it. You can bold it, italic, underline, all of that. You can change the colors. All of these features are just like they would be in like a Word document that you're working on. So I put a banner up there. I'm like a banner crazy person. So I'm I like everything to be matchy-matchy. So, but if you're not that way, just type it in. Okay. So I want to do at the top of my page, I'm going to do the same thing with these 2 cells where I'm going to merge them together because I don't want 2 things at the top of the page. I want to put a video in there because I have kindergartners, and when they get to this page, I want the video to be the first thing that they see so they know what it is that they have to do. They don't have to go and get mom and dad to explain it to them. Well, being kindergartners, they might need mom or dad there to explain it a second time, but at least that video is there for them to view so they have a better idea of what they're doing. And now I'm just going to do record. And remember, if these buttons are not there, they're underneath this little tab, depending on the width of your screen. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. So I'm going to go to upload or record media. I don't have anything already recorded and I don't have anything to embed. So I'm going to go to record and it's going to pull it up. If it's not there again, it automatically selects one webcam over another. Okay, so there's my webcam that I'm using. I can see myself, I can see the volumes on, so I don't have to click on mic. I know it's working. Okay, so now I'm going to make some directions and I'm just going to make them up kind of on the fly. Okay, and I'm going to start recording. It's going to do a countdown. Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to our sight word work for today. Today, you're going to go down below and you're going to click on each of the links. Your job is to spend time doing each of the activities that's on our page today. I hope you really enjoy learning and playing and singing sight word songs with us today. All right, have fun. Okay, so I'm not going to preview it. If I wanted to, I could play it and preview it. I'm not going to start over. I'm going to save it. I like it. So that's going to show up in the middle of my page. And that's going to take a moment to load. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here and maybe next thing that I want to put on there is I really want to put a sight word song for my kids. Now, so we've got a little failed to retrieve media source. All right, well, we're gonna backspace. Hopefully that'll pop up. Let's try to save it. It's a little glitchy, I guess. We'll try to save it and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's there. But as I saved it, I noticed that it is off to the side. It's not centered. I can fix that when I go back to edit it. So I guess if it comes up with failed to retrieve source, don't worry, just click on the save button and it might still be there for you. But there's the video. It's all set. I just want to center it on the screen. No. And if you click out of something, that little message that was up there when I opened it, if you click out of something and I guess if there was, like if you leave a page without saving it, sometimes it'll come up and say there was a previous version. Do you want to revert back to that? I know what I saw on that screen was what I wanted, so I clicked no. There is a way to go back to your past versions of your pages, and I'll show you how to do that later. So if you change something and you're like, oh, why did I do that? I want it to go back to how I had it originally. There's a way that you can go back to an old version of a page that was saved. Okay, so first I'm going to click on my video, and I am going to click the center button. Let's see.
And you're going to click on each of the links. Your job is to spend time doing each of the activities that's on our.
I'm going to pause that. Okay, and let's see if we can get it centered. Okay, so doesn't seem to want to go over to the center. And now I erased it. All right, we're not having too much luck with this. Okay, so what I did was I just erased it by accident, but here's what I can do. I can click cancel. It's going to tell me if I have any unsaved changes, like deleting my video. They're not going to be saved, which I don't want to because I want my video to still be there like I had on there before. So as long as I don't save it, everything that I had there before I erased that video by accident, it will be back. All right, so I'm going to edit. And we'll worry about getting that. I'm going to say no because I want it how it was. All right. I want it in the center, but I'll worry about that a little bit later when I erase all these lines and things. Okay, so the first thing that I want is I want my students to have a song. Now, I have a song pulled up for the word the. a Jack Hartman song on here. So I'm going to either copy this URL and I'm going to go back and I'm going to link an external link, or I don't really want to do that because I don't want them going out and I don't want it to be teeny tiny. I want it to fit that box. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to embed it. Just like I showed you how I had that bigger video that was embedded. Now, how I do that, if you're on YouTube, if you go to share, it's going to give you options. Right here, you're going to click the embed button. Okay, and it's going to have it on there. If you scroll down, right here it tells you show player controls. That means the kids will be able to fast forward or stop it. They're going to be able to raise the volume or lower the volume on the screen. That's all that means. I'm going to keep it on for now. You can take it off if you don't want them to play around with that. So then you just click copy. And now it's copied that embed code and it's on my clipboard. I don't have to cut and paste or anything like that. Now I'm going to go to Media, Record and Upload Media. I'm going to go over to Embed. I'm going to just paste, submit. Oh, and I was in the wrong box when I did that. So let's try that again. All right, let's see if we can get this one out. I'm not having too much luck today with this. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's see if I can drag it down, if it'll let me. Sometimes it will, other times it does not. Let's see if I can pause it and see how it comes up with more videos. There is a way in the embed code that you can change it so it will not come up with more videos when you are working. For some reason, it's not dragging. So let's see if we can just go back and delete. There we go. All right, so I'm going to try that again. I'm going to make sure that I'm in this box and I see my cursor over there. And I'm going to upload media, go to embed, and paste. Let's try this again. All right, now it's in the right cell. Sometimes you can click on it and drag it down. Other times it will not do that. Okay, so there's how I embedded a video of myself talking about directions, a video of a sight word song that I want the kids to do. Next, I want my kids to go on my Boom Cards account and I want them to do, you know what, this is being a little glitchy. So we're gonna save just so I don't lose anything else. Okay, and there we go. All right, now I'm gonna go back to edit. That way at least it'll be saved if it seems to be being a little glitchy, which technology is wonderful as long as it works. So I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Now in this box, and for some reason it doesn't want to come over here into this box. All right, we'll go down here for now. All right, so underneath, just for the sake of my sanity. All right, let's see if I tab over. All right, well, for whatever reason, that box is not working. So we're gonna go right down below into this one, and I'm gonna insert my Boom Cards link. Now, I don't wanna just put the URL link. You could put the link, the URL link, by just doing a link and an external link. But instead, I want for my kindergartners, I want them to know what it is that they're clicking on, okay, at all times. So I'm gonna put a visual in there, and I have a picture of our Boom Cards logo, okay? And as they work with them, they're going to realize what that logo is and they're going to be able to see it and click on it and know what they're doing. So I'm going to upload the image. I'm just going to drag it in, click submit. Okay. All right. So now I have my Boom Cards logo on there, but it's not linked to anything. If I hover over it, it just says image options. It doesn't say anything about a link. So that means that it is not linked on there. Now what I need to do is click right here. And I want to go to an external link because it's going to bring them out to Boom Cards. And we'll say that this, I don't know if that's okay. So then it is now linked. It has a link to Boom Cards and it's an image. When they click on it, it's going to bring them into the Boom Cards account where they're going to sign in. Okay, how we have it all set up. Okay, now, and for some reason, these are not working very well. So here we go. Let's just change our table. Okay, this row, this column, I want to delete this column because it's driving me nutty. Okay, we'll just go with one column for right now. Okay, something that I want to show you also is something really cool that I found, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to utilize this, and I have one, I'm going to add one more box down there. Okay, I wasn't sure how I was going to utilize this, but I think I've come up with a solution for how to use this because it's super cool. You can use this in so many ways in the classroom, but online it'll be a little bit different for them to use it on Canvas. It is called wheelofnames.com, and it is a online spinner. And you can type in whatever you want. You can add images for it. I can see using it on Zoom to pick who's going to go next or to pick a word that we're going to work on or something like that. And the kids just tap on it. It'll spin. And then the word that they'll work on is me. And maybe I'll give directions and say, and it comes up, you can have it come up and say this, or you can have that part removed. It's up to you. If they click remove, it's going to take the word me off the wheel. Then it's not a choice anymore. Or they can close and all those words still stay on there. I'm thinking for sight words, I might say, give directions like, all right, now I want you to spin the wheel and whatever words you get, you're going to write it in a sentence. They can go on to here, they can find their word, write it in a sentence. Then they can go back, spin it again, do it for another sentence. You could also use this by adding images of different center activities for when they're at home learning, or even in the classroom when it's their time to do their centers. When you're pulling guided reading groups, they can choose their centers this way if they're not sure what to do. But anyhow, so on this site, it's really cool. So you can customize your wheel. You can put different colors. You can put different names. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can make it spin faster or slower or whatever it is. You can have them shuffle up the names. But once you have your wheel how you want it, you just click the share button. Okay. And here they should only be able to spin the wheel. For my kindergartners, I only want them to spin it. I don't want them to be making their own copies of the wheel and changing it. So I'm going to click continue. It's going to give me a shareable link that I can copy. And then I can go back. I can put directions in here of what they're going to do. I can type them out or I can put a video, whatever it is that I want to do. But I don't want to just put that link. So what I did was I used my sketch and snip, which we talked about, or sometimes it's called the snipping tool with a pair of scissors. I know on my Dell computer it has that. And I just took a picture, basically like a screenshot of the wheel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import that picture so that they see what it is that they are clicking on. They're not just clicking on a link, not knowing what it is. So here's my picture of my wheel, and it's the wheel that we were just spinning. I'm going to click submit, and there's the wheel. And now I want that wheel to be linked to the actual wheel. So I'm going to select it. I see that big blue line around the outside. Okay. And I can come up here and I can link it to an external link. That link was already copied onto my clipboard from the Wheel of Names. Click done. And now when the kids want to go to spin the wheel, they just click on the wheel and it will come up. It will come up in a different tab, but again, we need to teach our kids how to move back and forth between tabs if we're going to use external links. Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to put in was a PDF of our site word list. That way, if parents say, oh, I lost that list, I can't find it, they can always find it here. So I have a PDF of all of the sight word lists that I use in my classroom in order and all the words. Now, I can just put the PDF there. It's going to show up as just a link, okay? But to make it a little more kindergarten friendly so the kids know what it is, I took a picture, a screen cap, again with that snip and sketch, and I'm going to put a picture of it there. Now, when I put the picture on there, right now, it's just an image. There is no link. Okay. So if I just put that picture there, it's going to do nothing but show them the picture. They can't print it out or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on that picture. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do documents. I want to upload a document. Okay. It's going to show me the same type of box as when I'm doing an image. Here's my PDF of that sheet. So when I put it in there, I'm going to submit. And now that image is linked to that PDF document. Okay. So let me go down and save. And since my text box my table got a little wonky, it's going to look not how I want it to look at all. I would have to go back and center all these things and do all that. But when I go to click on it now, it's going to bring the parents up to, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. It's down here. I'm clicking on it more than once. Okay, let me move all these boxes. Right down here, when I clicked on it, and I clicked on it twice, so now I have those PDFs right there that I can open, and parents can print off the document that I linked on there. So they have all of our sight words right there. Okay, and let's move me out of the way here. And when they click on that wheel, they're going to be brought to the Wheel of Names site, and it's going to come up, and they can tap and spin the wheel. Okay. When they go up to the boom ones, it's going to go to the, and you know what? I had a feeling that that was not the right. I think it's Boom Learning. I typed in the wrong URL for Boom Cards. But if you type in the right URL, it will come up to there. And if they want to listen to the songs, they're right on there. So basically, now all I would have to do is go back and I would have to fix my table up. I'm going to take away the lines, which I explained how to do in a different post. And if you don't remember, let me go over it really, really quickly. So go to there. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to table. I'm going to go down to table properties. If I don't want the lines on there, I'm going to change the 1 to a 0. My alignment is going to go to center, and I'm going to save it. Now you can see that all those lines, they show up as dotted lines right now, but when I go to save it, they're going to be gone. Okay, so I can go in and I can also center all of these things on the page and all of that. But let me go down to save. I'm not going to go through centering all of those for you. Okay. All right, so now I have a sight word page. It doesn't look how I would want it to. If I want to put a background on it, when I go to edit, you can put different colors in the background. You can make it however you want. My table got a little wonky and I just gave up and just made it a straight shot. Usually I think I would probably go back and I would switch it to a side by side. I don't know why it got all crazy. But basically that's how you're going to make your page. You can make all different media on it. I will also show you how to, and you want to publish it, okay, before you link it to anything. Okay, so if you click on it again, it'll be unpublished, published, unpublished. Now I can go back to view all pages. So here's all of my pages. I'm going to go to my sample home page that we made in the previous video. And I know we linked a couple things on here. I think Monday we linked an external link. So if this is their work for Tuesday, or this is their part of their work, you're going to go to Edit. Okay. You're going to, let me close out some of these things because my computer's being a little slow. A lot of stuff open. I'm going to click on that button on the front that I want to link. I'm going to go to the link button, and I want a course link. That page that we just made is something we made in Canvas, so it's a course link. So now I want to go to sample page. All right, and then down to save. Always to save. Okay, so now we have our sample homepage. It's published. We're ready to click on Tuesday. And there they go. It's going to pull up their sight word activities and things. And once everything loads, sometimes it takes a minute for the videos and things to load on there. But one more thing that I want to show you, if you want to stick around, if you are choosing to embed Google Drive content, such as a Bitmoji Classroom, that's on Google, from Google Drive. If you want to put a slideshow on there for your kids to do a slideshow activity where they're scrolling through different slides and doing different activities, clicking on things and having videos. If you want to do that, I can show you how to embed that in a page also. And one consideration for that, and I'm just going to name it Google Drive activities. One thing that I want you to remember when you are embedding things from your Google Drive, if you are embedding from a Google Drive on a laptop, I've found it works fine as long as you're going through a Chrome browser. Now, on an iPad, such as Bitmoji Classrooms and things like that, if your kids are going to be on an iPad and iPhone, I haven't tried with Android because I don't have an Android tablet or an Android phone, but I do have an iPad and iPhone, and it is a little glitchy. Some of the videos don't work. There is a fix for it, but some of the videos don't work. Some of the links won't work at times. Now, if your kids are going on iPad and you have a Google Classroom, a Google Slide that's embedded into Canvas, you have to tell your parents not to go through the Canvas app. They need to open up a Google Chrome web browser. And I know our school goes through Clever. So they type in clever.sdhc.com and then click on Canvas from there. And with mine, my phone works perfectly fine that way, and our iPad works perfectly fine that way. But if I go through Safari, or if I go through the Canvas app that I downloaded, the Google Slide activities and the Google Bitmoji do not work well. So just a little caveat, if you're using one of those things, make sure that you tell your parents that that is what they need to do. All right, so in here, I'm going to put a table. And this is how you embed your Bitmoji Classroom or any Google Slide activity. Okay, so if you're not going to do Google Drive or Google Slides, that's fine. You don't have to listen to the rest of it. I know it's getting a little bit long, but I just want to be really thorough so that you understand how to do it, make it a little easier. So if I want to embed my Google Classroom, my Bitmoji Classroom from Google, so here's one that I was working on, my math room. Okay, so I'm going to open it up, and it's really important in Google Drive that you understand the sharing options. If it is not shared for anyone who has the link, they will not be able to open it in anywhere. Okay, so make sure that when you go to share up here, see how that little link is underneath it? That shows me that I've already shared this to anyone who has the link. Okay, otherwise it'll be private. I don't know if there's a way that you can change it. I haven't found a way on Google Drive to just make everything. I wish everything would just save that way, anyone who has a link, but it doesn't. So you need to click on share. These options will come up, And down here is where you're going to change it. Now mine is already on there, but your options are restricted. That means that they will not be able to access it. Change it to anyone with a link and done. Okay, so now that I have my classroom is shareable, and here's my math room where they can click on, and these are super cool. Ooh, my battery's running low. Really cool virtual things that we can do with math. Okay, sorry guys, my computer was needing to be plugged in. So now I'm back. Okay, so this is our math room, our Bitmoji Classroom, and there are awesome, awesome things that you can link, either whether it's through a Bitmoji Classroom or just through a page like we made with the site words. And these go directly to online math tools, which are really, really awesome. And I can share that in another video. So if I want to make this classroom embedded in Google or in Canvas, I'm going to go to File, and let me move my little guy over here. All right, I'm going to go down and I'm going to scroll down to Publish to the Web. Okay, now this is a link. You don't want this, you want to embed. And I have mine set at medium for the slides. It's just medium seems to work well in Canvas, so that's what I kept. All right, so this is already, it says published, stop publishing because I've already published this. I've already put it into there. So I'm going to copy my embed code. Let me see. Oop. All right. So there's my embed code. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to head over here. I'm going to click in that box. I'm going to upload media, go to embed, put it in there, paste it, and again, I'm in the way down here. I'm going to submit. Easy as that. My Google Classroom is now embedded into Canvas once I click the Save button. Okay, click Save. Okay, and wait a moment. And again, with my, I see that line going around the outside of it for my table. It doesn't have to be there. All my links should work just fine. When I click on them, it should go right to me reading the story that I put in there. If I click over here, it's going to go out to, this is an external site, but it is awesome. Some math manipulatives that our kids can use when they are distance learning or just at home for homework, which are really awesome. So there's all different tools. I haven't linked the calendar to anything yet. I haven't found what I want to do with the calendar yet. If they click up here, they can hear a number song, things like that. Okay, so let me show you one more really cool thing, because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to put these Bitmoji classrooms in there. It's going to be so much fun for the kids. They're going to love it. It's going to be exciting for them. And then I realized that my links in my Bitmoji classroom, they're not going to link to anything in Canvas. They can link to external sites or to slideshows that I've made in Google Drive, but I can't have them click on anything and do a response in Canvas. So what I figured I could do instead is I'm going to go back to edit. All right. And remember, I made a table with 2 spaces. Right down here, I can go in, I can upload an image, and watch what I'm going to do to make this work out. I'm going to go to, maybe I'm going to have them do some activities in the classroom, my Bitmoji Classroom, and then I want them to do a quiz on Canvas about something they worked on. Now, once I save it, you can see what it'll look like on my page. Now they have that Bitmoji Classroom, but they also have a button that I can then link to a page or a quiz or an assignment on Canvas. That way they're able to interact here, but they're also able to do this. What I did with my story time room was I put a reading response activity where they're going to record themselves telling me their favorite part of the story or what the main character in the story was, whatever we're working on at that time, what the problem and solution was. However I want to do that, I can change that reading response at the bottom or that quiz or that assignment at the bottom, however I see fit. That way we get kind of the best of both worlds where they're interacting with the Bitmoji Classroom, but they're also getting to go to a link to something on Canvas without having to switch between pages, which I think will make it so much easier for our little ones, especially our kindergartners, pre-K kids. Okay, and you can add more buttons if you want to. I just threw one down there just to show you. Okay, so that's how you're going to link it. Again, there's a way to get rid of this bar at the bottom also. And I mean, if you have a question about that, just let me know. I'm not going to go into changing the embed code and things like that in this video. But if that bar drives you crazy at the bottom, you can remove it. If the black line on the top and bottom drive you crazy, you can go into the image options when you hover over the picture and you can change the size of it manually to fit a little bit better however you want. So that's basically putting our Bitmoji Classroom in there and a way to also link it with Canvas activities as a follow-up to whatever they're doing. Now, just as a last thing that I'm going to tell you, with Google Slides or Bitmoji Classroom, anything that is in this classroom that you want them to click on, such as slides, videos, all of that needs to stay in your Google account. If I take this book, for example, when they click on here, it goes to a read aloud by me. Okay, so
Hi,
it
boys
goes
and
to this read
girls.
aloud where I'm reading a story to them. If in my Google Drive, I decide, oh, I want to clean out my drive, I'm going to get rid of that story. This video is no longer going to play. So anything that you put on there through the Google Drive has to be in your Google Drive, and the sharing options has to be on for anyone with a link. And again, the way that we did that was we clicked on our math room and we clicked the share button right up here at the top. When you click share, you can go to change it if it's on restricted like this. That means that people will not be able to get to it. Anyone with the link, they will be able to get to it. And that goes for everything in your drive. Now, I found a quicker way to do that. So if you have a whole bunch of stuff in your drive, say you have, let's see, where's my story time? Sorry, it's getting long. If you're interested, stay. If you're not, that's okay. So these are all my read alouds that I've put in here so far that I'm planning on putting on there. Now, if I want to change the sharing options for them, I can click on each one and click on the sharing options. Up at the top, I would have to open each one. But a quick way to do it is to click on one of them. Okay, hold down the shift key. Now it has selected all of these. If you push the period button, the sharing options will come up and it will change for all of the ones that you've selected, not just one at a time. So again, you can select whichever files you want. And what I did was I just did a whole batch of everything in there. I selected all of my files and then click the period button and your sharing options will come up just like they would if you click on that little yellow share button. So that's a quick way to do it. Just a little tip for you if you're using a Google Classroom or a Google Bitmoji Classroom. All right, so I'm going to go back. All right, and hopefully that was helpful. That was a lot of information about pages. But next time, I think I'm going to do primary friendly quizzes and assignments. And I'm going to show you some assignments that we can make and some quizzes that we can make for our youngest kiddos, our pre-K, our kindergarten, our first, and even second graders that might not be very good readers and are not able to read through the directions and understand what to do. So that's it for today, and hope to see you next time so we can go through some quizzes and some assignments and some really cool stuff that we can do with Canvas. All right. Bye-bye.